Hello everyone, this is Inge. I am back with a basic video on how to do something. There has been something I want to show you guys for a long time, but I wasn't quite sure how to film it because it requires quite a lot. But now with the new moss book, I just look what I made. I hope you can see the shimmer because I used mica sprays. And originally I wanted to make it in red, so that's what I did last night just in preparation for this, and I'm going to show you what I want to do. Now normally when I say make a background, we're using the ink pads, we smoosh them, make everything wet, and you start as light as you can possibly be, and then make it slightly darker. But not today. Today we're going to be working with distress spray stains and distress oxide sprays, and we are going to be using all the ink we can get, so we get as much color and as much vibrant luminous backgrounds as we can possibly make them. These I made with fired brick and a lumberjack plaid, I think, in a lumberjack red, I don't know. I'm going to do in the description box I will put all the inks that I used, but to show you guys how I do this and how I make sort of the effect is I'm going to first make a new background, and then with this one I'm going to show you what I do next. What I can tell you, if you are anything like me, you need to make sure that you're wearing old clothes, your hands are free from valuable objects that you don't want stained, because especially red is a color, it stains everything. Look at my mat, it used to be white, it's now red. I don't mind, but if you do, and that's why you can't see this, but I have a sort of cardboard splatter box created around my desk just to make sure that nothing becomes splattered all over the place, because for me that's so easy to do, and everything will get dirty. So if you don't want it, wear gloves. I will show you a trick how to get your hands clean afterwards, but still. And if you hear mowing, I have locked out my cat this time out of the craft room because I don't want her walking here through this and making a mess of herself, getting her paws. What we need, this is watercolor cardstock. I have the package here. It's simple watercolor paper, 200 grams. This is a Dutch brand from Vase Creative. Yeah, but you could substitute for any kind of watercolor paper. It's the craft kind, not the expensive one. So don't you all go buying Arches, because that's not what we need. You could also use mixed media paper from Tim Holtz. I know it's designed to go with his distress oxide sprays or distress ink as well. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. And what you also need is paper towels. You need a lot of paper towels. Now I'm also having, the distress sprayer, but you could use any type of watering thing that you have. I'm putting this underneath because it will stop from making a huge mess. Because everything was red last night. So the distress spray stains, they don't contain anything other than just a watery liquid. The distress oxide sprays, if you shake them, you can hear the ball, and that means there's like a pigment in here, and you need to shake it really well before you're going to use it. And I hope this one will work. And the same here with the mica stains. You also need to shake them up. You can hear the ball. And let me show you. When I was done last night, what I did is I rinsed it through completely. I went to the tap, warm water, and kept you know, the end in the warm water, and kept spraying it until it was completely clean, and that way you make sure it doesn't get clogged. Now I know for a fact I didn't do that with this. Oh, but it's still working, thank God. And we're just going to be spraying a lot because we want color everywhere, guys. Not just, oh look, oh wow, yes. And I'm going to go for really dark, luscious, and I want this to mix and match. And then when I'm thinking, yeah, I got it, I just roll it over. And I know you're probably thinking, wow, that's a lot of waste of ink. It is a bit. What you could do is put another one on top and soak up the ink with that. Normally I would do that, but for the purpose of this video I won't. Now let me go back to this one. I want it a little bit browner. I am going back. Now, and the thing is with the Distress Oxide spray, when it comes in contact with water, it oxidizes, like, you know, the title says oxide spray, and so that means that it will become sort of chalky. Now, as you can see, I already have some thing here, so make sure you have a baby wipe at hand. Now, this is my craft room, so I don't really mind. I mean, if it didn't want to get dirty, it shouldn't have been here. That's just, you know, the game, I guess. I'm going to dry it with a Heattool. For this process, you don't really need that. You could just wait and be patient. But for the other steps that we're going to do, we definitely need a Heattool. So you could use a hairdryer for this, but not for the other thing we're going to be doing. Because what I will be doing is stamp and use embossing powder. Now I'm going to tilt it a little bit, because you see here at the edges you had the sort of the build up, the bulk, and I like that. I don't know about you guys, but I really love how this is turning out. It's a sort of patina, almost a coppery like, with and if you're not happy with the result, just keep adding sprays on top. Like if you think, oh, I don't know, maybe what happens if we put a little green, you know, just add it, it's perfectly fine. This one I will be using for the little personas, so green, aquas, rust, that's definitely what we'll be going for. So, and that's it. I am going to let this dry. Now, see? What you could do is put your ironing board out, cover it with a good clean cloth, and then put it there. I'm going to put this aside and see, like, hey, let me clean this up real fast. Now, we are done with our sprays for now. And as you can see, it stains a lot. My hands are dirty, everything is dirty. I don't mind. Now, I bought something a couple of years ago. It's called a Scrubby. And the Scrubby, it looks a a little bit like sort of a pumice stone that you use for your feet, you know, to get the dead skin off. And you can use that to wash your hand with. You don't need any soap. I personally do use soap because I really like that. And then, you know, my hands were really red last night and I got it all off. So years and years ago I was a nurse and I hated to go to work with stains all over my hands, and I was using the distress inks a lot, and that scrubby was magical. I could really recommend it. Now I'm going to remove my cardboard, and that will give you immediately a lot more light. That's perfect. So what the next step is, because I don't just want something like this, I want a little bit more interest before we are going to stamp, like I did here. And I did that by spraying water through a stencil, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Let me see, I have it here. Oh, that's okay actually. Now, and that's it. You're going to give it a couple of seconds to react, because distress inks, distressed oxide inks, they will always react to water, no matter how long ago it is you've used them. Now I do these steps like I've dried the backgrounds with the heat tool, and then I do this, I do another thing like this, and it's not perfect everywhere. Guys, let me show you. See? But it gives so much interest. And then I dry it again. So that's it. This is not dry enough to stamp on with embossing powder, because if I would use embossing powder now with the ink, it would stick on everything, especially if we just made this background. So what I would like to do normally is I go an evening, you know, after work or whatever, if you have an hour, I'm just going to make backgrounds, then leave them overnight to dry. I of course, you know, get the worst moist out with the heat tool, and then I let them dry overnight. Let me get the other one like I did, and then it's time for us to use the embossing powder. If you don't have all this and you're still thinking like, I only have an ink pad, you know, like I have the lumberjack plate and I would still want to do something, you could use cardstock. This is smooth and you need it to be smooth, because otherwise the stamp is harder to, how do you say that, to get a very clear impression. If you're going for the grunge look and you don't want a clear impression everywhere, then don't worry, you could use textured cardstock. It's perfectly fine. But look, you know, you could use this as well. So look at what you have and use that. Okay, so I'm checking my list. Did we have everything? Yeah, we need to let this dry. This has been dried for over 12 hours. I used a stencil through it, as you can see, and now I'm going to be stamping on it. And let me show you the stamp I want to use. Is this one. This is one from Ali, but I also want to show you the one I will be using for the green one, and that's this one. I mean, doesn't that fit perfectly? Let me take it out of the package with the images from Remy for the moss book. So look at it, look how pretty. I mean, this gothic. So the moment I saw that book, I was like, oh, I need to try that. So I have to go and show you guys how to do it. But yeah, I'm going to do it first with this one. Sorry, it's a bit messy. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm just going to put this in here. Now a stencil help like this one is convenient. It's not necessary. You could just use a really good clear block, a large one. But I must say, if you ever want to invest in anything and you like stamping, then this is amazing. It really is. I'm going to put it like this. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Or maybe, no, maybe, wait, like this. Because then I can, yeah. I know there are others from Altenew, or, you know, there's so many brands nowadays. And then do this. This is a little bit with chalk powder. You could use baby powder, just, you know, and if you do that, if there's any moist on here, it will show up. So there we go. I'm going to, with white, do I have white here? Yes, Arctic white. There we go. I'm going to stamp this. This is Versamark, I'm sorry, Versamark. It's a very sticky, transparent ink, but it is perfect for this. Make sure you have an even coat everywhere. And then, there we go. I have, this is normally for the whiteboard. I bought it at the dollar store, but you make sure that this is, now this stamp is already sort of grungy. It doesn't show everything. If you have a very crisp stamp, then you could, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it, but I'm taking this away. We're going to be doing this later. I will use this one. You need a paper with a sharp fold in between. And there comes the magic. And you might be thinking, wow, is she going to throw really the entire... Yeah, I am, but that's okay, because we are going to collect every... And look, you can already see how that's going to turn out. Now, that's why we need the sharp crease. I hope you can see it. But everything goes back into the jar. No problem. And we can save this for another time. I mean, you might think like, oh, these bottles are so small. They will last you so long. Now, and this is where the magic happens with the Heattool. Keep moving it around so the heat can really go through. And then you can see, how the powder sort of melts, and you can see the transformation happening before your eyes. There we go. Let me see. You can see the difference, right? This is already a bright white. This is still sort of grainy. Once it's melted, it's fine. Don't go over it again, because you may remelt it again, and that's what you don't want. You can even burn it if you, and this one becomes quite hot, so I'm always careful with that. And that is why I'm not just placing it like this, because then the heat can't go away. It needs to go through. It's sometimes too hot for me to hold. that's it. And there we have it. Look, guys, look how gorgeous that is. See? And this you can use, this is completely dry now. And what we can do, you can just simply, like, let me take this one, because maybe you want it a little bit more grungy. You know, you could just go around the edges. You could even stamp on here. I think this is the best. See, to get it a little bit more, it's hardly visible. Now this is not visible enough, so we might be needing a different color. But we could do, let's try it with this one, guys. What happens if we do this? Here, ground espresso. Yeah, you see, that does work. You could add even more of a texture to the background. You could do whatever you want now. You could stamp on it, you could, doesn't matter, but this is how you create this background. Let's do the green one as well, because we are already on the roll. Let me put this back. Now, because it's sticky, you need to clean this. You could clean it with water, but I prefer a baby wipe because this is so sticky. Normal ink, I would say, yeah, but you know, water is enough, but this is there we go. Let's get this one here. Oh, I wish you could see the shine because it's so amazing. It really is. I'm thinking, I'm going to do it like that, like this. See? I'm going to do it like this. Maybe I could even, could we do the other one as well? Because that's pretty as well. Oh yes, we can. Look how pretty. Yeah, this is a bit too much. I'm going to remove. That's the thing with the Misti, a bit too high now. If you're using rubber stamps, you need to remove the black sort of foam layer. Yeah, this is fine. We could do that. It's fine. Yes. So there we go. And make sure you have everything, because I want this to be really, really good print. A very detailed print. So I'm making sure. And you can always go back. That's the beauty of a stamp platform. It stays in the same place. But as you can see, it's a little bit still coming up the paper. So I want to make sure that I don't get a sort of shadow print. I don't want that. So I think this should work. And then again, this really helps. this aside. Now I have, let me see, I have this is gold and this is gold. I'm going to use this one because I really like the, oh, here it is. I'm looking for my crease. And as I forgot to put the chalk on top, but I know it's dry. I mean, it has had so much time. And in the past I did it the same day, or, you know, like I just dried it. Oh, look how pretty that's already. Oh wow. There we go. Back into the jar. I mean, we only have a little bit of a spoil here, and that's okay, because I don't want it sticking to the mat. Now I'm going to make some noise again. And oh my gosh, the details of these stamps are so amazing. That is just, I hope you can see it. I will keep it up. Now obviously the paper is bulking, but when we're done I will show you how it's flat. This side is already done. It's literally like watching magic. I mean, you can see how that grainy powder is transforming into a beautiful gold. And the lines are so crisp. We're done. Yeah, that's it. It's even burned a little bit, I think, but that's okay. I don't mind. Look here, see? It's a bit splashy. I don't know, maybe that's just a stamp. Let me watch. Oh no, it didn't stamp. There's a pattern here and that didn't stamp. Well, that's okay. I was really going for this one. I mean, look guys. Isn't that awesome? Look how pretty. And you can use this for your background with the moss series. Oh, well, that is for another day. What I wanted to show you today is A, how you make a gorgeous background like this, and B, how you then turn that background into something else, first with a stencil and then second with stamping on top. Guys, if you loved my video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. What I'm going to do with these, that's for the next video, but thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.